welcome. And we take the pleasure of inviting you all to this investors meet where we call this as iPitch event. And on behalf of Ipreneur, Startup Accelerator, all of you are most welcome into this session where today our purpose is to see that we are evaluating the startups who have been curated, and then the next 3 weeks follow-up activity will be done where we'll be doing deep dive call on each investment, and we'll ensure that at the end of it the startups are invested. And this is a 3 weeks engagement program. And I also welcome our collaboration partner, Jinserve and Giga Innovation, and all the team members here. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for participating in this initiative. I would now request Chief Technology Officer and Executive Director of Ipreneur to say a few words and move on to the next session where the demo of the startups begin.
So thank you, Kishore. But let me start about the Ipreneur acceleration. And before that, I would like to thank to Jinserve for partnering with us for a extended partnership with us. So what basically we cover in Ipreneur, the startup acceleration process is like that. So we will be doing this. This is the acceleration process, and we will be having startup steps, and then a deep dive pivot labs, and then why Ipreneur. I think I will not take much time over here. The reason behind, we have done around 2,000 plus startup reviews and 40 plus portfolios and 500 plus angel investors and 100 plus co-founder club, 50 plus startup acceleration program annually, 25 plus corporate partners, right to city activity. The major point here is we have our own in-house fund. You can see here, come together we have roughly around the 33 million fund where we have access. That's where we give advantage to take it further on this.
Thank you. Thank you, Madhu. Okay, now just as we proceed to the next session, we would just like to mention that what is so unique about this whole initiative is that we are actually forefronting the funds that we have in-house, which is a SEBI approved angel investment fund that we have backed up with. And the pipeline for all the accelerated curated startups who come through the pipeline of the acceleration process. Now there are two angles to which we work on. One is the pivot labs, where the startups have achieved a sort of a MVP and they are in the seed level funding. So those people are put into the pivot lab process, and those who have already crossed that and they are looking at pre-A series funding are taken into the process of the 12-week program. Now, this project has been going on for last 5 years now, and we are very happy to say that today would be the initiative that we have taken after a long gap during the COVID. So over to the first presentation.
Now invite Right High.
Thank you, Ipreneur, for giving me this opportunity and a platform to actually pitch our unique product to the audience. All right. Right Hire is a product of Ipreneur Technologies Private Limited, incorporated on the 27th of June 2020. So we are an AI company, a Bangalore-based AI company specializing in converting human emotions into actionable business insights. So there are two pieces to it. One, identify human emotions and then convert it into actionable business insights. So the objective of this particular product, Right Hire, is to assist recruitment teams across the globe with an AI-powered, non-intrusive AI tool to identify the right candidates out there. We are also recognized by Startup India, Startup Karnataka, and K-Tech NASCOM. Let's straight away get into the problem. So post-pandemic, a lot has changed. Primarily, when we are talking about the recruitment domain, the recruitment process has pretty much gone virtual. If not the final calls, but at least the initial rounds are completely virtual these days. But this also brings in major challenges, as we can see. The first one is candidate malpractices. The second one is fluctuating interview attention, because we are looking into an online interview conducting process. And then the third one is human biases. The next slide, I'll go deeper into each of them. When we are talking about candidate malpractices, the most crucial and most important one to look at is the vocal impersonation, which means that the candidate is just lip syncing with somebody else talking on their behalf. I was pretty surprised when this use case was brought upon, but then after looking into deeper insights and talking to more of the recruiters, I realized the fact that they rate around 20 to 30% of the interviewers these days are coming under the vocal impersonation category. It is a huge, huge issue that people are trying to identify and find a workaround wherein a solution can actually identify it straight away. Apart from that, obviously, there are referring into the screens and multiple other areas are there. So we are focusing only on the vocal impersonation side here. Fluctuating interview attention. So when an interviewer or a recruiter is conducting an interview online, it so happens that they're sometimes working from home, or probably they're working from a shared office. They have on-screen notifications coming in, digital disturbances like the mobile and others are happening. And an interviewer, obviously, we have seen multiple interviews, and we see that the interviewer is not completely focused on the candidate as to what he's saying, analyzing his body language and so on. So that actually is a problem because we are not giving our 100% in terms of analyzing the candidate. Human biases. We humans, we know every individual comes with a perception, and no two individuals are the same, right? So we always come up with that perception, and that is one of the reasons why most of the companies have multiple rounds of interviews, wherein they want to know different perceptions from different individuals on whether or not to go with that candidate. So these are the main three areas that we are focusing on from a solution point of view. So consequences can be minor or major. It can be catastrophic as far as a lawsuit being filed against it. So our solution is an AI-based solution which combines behavioral science, applied mathematics, and AI technology to come out with the desired output. So we do vocal impersonation detection, and we have around 98.68% accuracy. We do confidence variation analysis to tell you where the candidate is confident and how his confidence varied during the duration of the interview. We do behavioral analysis. We analyze mood swings as to when he was anxious, when he was happy, easy, excited. We do objective analysis to tell the interviewer as to what skill set is he strong, what is he weak, what is he confident about, and so on. Competitive advantage, this is a patent pending technology. The graphs look like an ECG. We call it employment compatibility graph instead of an electrocardiogram. The application is ready. Interface is mobile enabled also. We have a use case, case study wherein a company was conducting almost 40,000 interviews, and imagine auditing all the 40,000 interviews for lip sync analysis. So we were brought in, and it is working fantastic. These are our first customers, and obviously these were the reason why we actually came into business. Roadmap is pretty exciting because we are bringing in integrated video call very soon, skill set analysis, automated interview wherein we would make the interview process completely automatic, which means anybody can take an interview round the clock and the analysis report would come straight away. Market is very large, 772.1 billion estimated, and it's growing at a rapid pace. Especially post-pandemic, people are looking at solutions like these. Competition is pretty picking up, but as far as vocal impersonation detection is concerned, we are a novelty in the business. Ideal customer base, of course, we are going to go through hiring partners, pretty much a large set. Enterprise customers would be 30% and SMBs would be around 10%. Business, this is our plans, basic, pro, premium, and enterprise. We can get into details in the Q&A. Timing, we are looking at around 5 years plan wherein we go into Series B funding, expecting 10x growth in 2 years, reaching 1 million in revenue in the year 2. Investment opportunity, so 10% of the investment that we raise will go into marketing, 30% in infrastructure management, and salaries will be taken care of. We have 2 customers right now, and the biggest thing is that we are partnering with HCL. The process has been initiated. They are super excited to onboard us as their partners, and we have pretty good testimonials on board right now. With 2 customers itself, we are pretty excited. This is our team. That's me, Prashant. Janardhan is our technology head, and we have good advisory panel. We'll get into that details later. We have done 8,948 interviews, and we are going live to process around 20,000 to 30,000 videos starting next month. That's about it.
We'll open for questions now.
Any questions?
Yeah, Ramesh here, Prashant.
Hi, Ramesh.
Prashant, of all the options already available to the enterprises to hire and then get the talent acquisition done, what is the reason that they should engage you?
Number one, nobody is doing vocal impersonation, and that is actually creating a lot of fuss in the recruitment industry. That's number one. Number two, everybody who claims to be doing confidence analysis or personality analysis, they are unique to themselves. What we are doing is we bring in almost 122 data points in terms of analyzing the behavioral pattern. 12 body language parameters like head roll, shoulder roll, hand gestures. Nobody does all these things. Ours is a patent pending technology. We have a psychiatrist on board who helped us come out with this formula. We have a PhD professor who is helping us on applied mathematics and AI technology. We have a very good advisory panel. We are very unique in the industry, and only time is time has to prove that we are better than everybody else. Right now, we have the novelty of saying we are the only ones who are doing vocal impersonation in the entire globe. I've been talking to some US customers, and they are pretty excited too because they've never heard anything like this. So there are a lot of opportunities on board.
Prashant, I'll repeat the question. I think what are the languages available? Vernacular and international. Is it a dual support?
Multilingual is not a problem because body language doesn't change. The only thing that we will need is a translator in between. We already have Kannada and Hindi to go with. But most of the interviews around the world are conducted in English, which is what is our focus. Going forward, we can bring in multilingual based on the demand, like Spanish, Italian, Mexican, and stuff like that. Because in India, pretty much it is done in English only. In US, Britain, Europe, especially not France and Italy, but then most of the countries are doing it in English. Yes, multilingual is we are capable.
Thank you, Prashant. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much for the opportunity, guys.